Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the stocks that were in play today. Really nice follow through with the markets on a 5-day run. Yeah, please come check out our chat. I'll post a link at the end of the video. We try to teach during the trading day. I post lots of charts and lots of information, so if you like the videos, you should like the information in the chat as well. Just trying to help everybody on a daily basis. I do my best I can to share the knowledge and help you learn how to read the charts and improve your trading skills. Okay, so first up is OSTK. It closed up 13% today, so this is the move that we were looking for. Congrats to everybody that caught the earlier alerts. Now RSI and FASTO are both in the bull zone. They just crossed above 50 with room to run until overbought levels, and then you have a bullish crossover on plus DI. So today there was a very bullish development. You know, we've been posting OSTK charts during this setup process here. And yesterday we posted a video showing that it had closed above this line, which was EMA 8. That was the first close above that level since back here on the 29th. And that was signaling upside potential. Today there was big follow through. It had a big gap up open, and then it closed above the middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line, and the green line, which is the 50-day simple moving average. So if it can stay above the green dotted purple line, that would signal the possible start of a new uptrend. So it has to hold that 66 support zone. You know, if it can push above 67, that's going to signal that it wants to keep heading higher. If it drops back below both levels, that will signal that it's not quite ready to go, consolidation, and it could fill that gap below. There was a PSAR bull flip today. Notice the big volume spike, and then you had the MACD bull cross. Check out the calls. Call options were up really big today. You know, some were delivering as high as 546% gains. So yeah, congrats to everybody that's catching the alerts. We try to post option plays on a daily basis. Okay, let's look at DPW. Okay, this closed up 9% today. Yeah, this is really heating up. I want you to keep an eye on it. The bullish development today was the close above this gold line. That's the 100-day simple moving average, and it also closed above the orange line, which was EMA 13. It hadn't closed above that level since way back here in December. And so, you know, when there's a close above a key resistance level, notice all of these candles fail to close above the orange line until today. And so many times when there's a close above a key resistance level, that's your signal from the market makers that the chart's finally heating up and ready to head higher. And so what we're looking for now is a close above the middle Bollinger Band, which is at 190. That's the dotted purple line there. And so above 190 signals the possible start of a new uptrend. And then we'd be looking for a run up to the upper Bollinger Band and the 50-day simple moving average. Notice the PSAR bull flip and the MACD bull crosses on both time frames. What you want to keep an eye on is the volume. Keep an eye out for a volume spike. Okay, LBCC. Here's another one that we alerted at lower levels, and now it closed up 22% today. Notice RSI's at 52, FASTO at 74. Check out the bullish crossover on ADX with the green line crossing the red line to the upside. So we'd been posted some charts on this. I put it in the recent videos showing the setup here, and the analysis was to keep an eye out for a close above this orange line here, EMA 13, and for it to get back above, you know, EMA's 4.8 and the 100-day simple moving average. And so today there was a bullish close above all those resistance levels. I think I showed you last time in the video how it had been forming, had been trading in this super tight channel. And so it had been channeling sideways down here. And when that happens, the chart gets wound really tight, and so it's either going to break down or it's going to break out. And today it popped up, and then if you notice the volume spike, check out the volume down there. Look at the volume bar. So it's not only was it a bullish close above resistance, above the middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line there at 332, but it was also the largest volume day since back here on January 9th. So when you get a volume spike and a break above resistance, many times that's your signal that the stock is ready to head higher. Notice the PSAR bull flip down there. The green dots are below the candles, and yeah, so the next big thing to do is to break through these moving averages. Notice how the 50, 200, and 300-day simple moving averages are all lined up in a row. That upper wick hit that level and it pulled back, and so closed just below those levels. So it's 393. That's the big level. That's the top moving average, the blue line. Once it gets above that level, above 393, that signals it wants to head higher, and then you'd be looking for those levels to turn into support and a new uptrend to begin. If it fails to break resistance, that's going to signal it's not ready to go, and also it has to stay above 330. It needs to hold that middle Bollinger Band Now that it's finally closed above, notice the MACD bull cross on the 1226 and 9, and it had already had a MACD bull cross on the 813 and 5. Okay, so here's another blockchain stock that we posted. Showed you a video, recently where it was setting up and breaking that middle Bollinger Band. It closed up 3% today. You have RSI at 58, and so yeah, so check it out. So I posted the video when it was breaking resistance over here, and then I showed you again where it got above that middle Bollinger Band, and so now we're looking at 3 days in a row where the middle Bollinger Band's turning into support. So this is really heating up. I mean, there's not a lot of volume, and only traded 160,000 shares, but 160,000 shares at $42 a share. So that is some considerable money flow for a thinly traded stock. And so basically, as long as it holds that 39 level, that middle Bollinger Band, that's going to be your signal that this uptrend is intact, and that this new uptrend is beginning. And then what you want to see if you're a bull is just push through that upper Bollinger Band at 47.46. If it busts through that, that could signal that it wants to head higher. All right, so this has some upside potential. If you look at the recent high close from back here, the all-time high close was on the 18th of December, and that's way up here around $72. So that just to retrace back to that previous level would be nice percentage gains from the current share price. If it drops below that middle Bollinger Band, it will be a risk to hold. Okay, so take a look at Bitcoin Investment Trust. This is GBTC. Trades over the counter. This follows the pattern of Bitcoin, and so how Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's going up, GBTC is going to be going up. Notice that the share price is only at $18. This was above $1,000 at one point. It was like buying a share of Amazon, but now after they did the split, it's reduced that share price down to $18. And this is a way for people that want to play Bitcoin but don't want to buy the actual currency but want to be able to track the movement. This is a way you can do it, and you can buy shares for $18 a share, as opposed to having to shell out the freaking $10,000 for a Bitcoin or buying a partial Bitcoin and have to go through all the transaction problems. You could just trade GBTC. Notice how when Bitcoin bottomed, GBTC bottomed down here on the 5th. It hit that 200-day simple moving average. A load off $10 would have been a beautiful trade. It got back above this 100-day simple moving average. Yesterday, that closed above the middle Bollinger Band. We put out alerts on that it closed above the middle Bollinger Band, and that's the middle Bollinger, that's the, signals the possible start of a new uptrend. And then you have follow through today with another big move. So this is really rocking it. The market bounce is following the same type of pattern. Check out the 50-day simple moving average at 2033. That's the next big level to break. If it can close above that level and turn it into support, that would signal that it wants to head higher. There's a PSAR bull flip, and you have MACD bull crosses on both time frames. Parabolic SAR stands for stop and reverse. Notice that when GBTC pulled back, the dots flipped above the candles. They had been below when it was heading higher. Then they flipped above. And so yesterday was the first time the dots flipped back below the candles since the long downtrend. So that's a major indicator that there's a possible new uptrend starting. Okay, take a look at KODK. Yeah, I know it says no options, but it does trade options because a lot of people in our chat are trading them and have traded them. And yeah, so congrats to everybody that was able to capitalize on this pop. It closed above 50 here on RSI, so that's a big signal that the chart's heating up. If it can stay above 50, that would be really bullish. And so today was a technical development that I had mentioned in the previous videos. Yesterday's close was signaling it was heating up. It was back above EMA4. And the analysis was as long as this green and gold line were holding and pink line, the EMA4 and the 50 and 100-day simple moving averages, then it put KODK in play. Okay, and basically it had to hold 550. And then finally today it had that big pop. It had the big move end of day, and it got above EMA13 at 660, and then it came right up to that next key resistance zone, which is the 200-day simple moving average. It's a really big level. I mean, you could see here on the 9th when it hit that level, it pulled back, but it did have a big gap open on the 10th. And so to head higher, it has to close above 727. Failed to break that level, and you could see it, consolidate. It needs to stay above EMA4 now, which is the at 632. It needs to stay above this level, the pink line, to remain in play now that it's above. And so if it can get above the 200-day simple simple moving average, the next big target is the middle Bollinger Band at 775. If that level turns into support, that would signal the possible start of a new uptrend, and you'd be looking at a potential run up to the 300-day simple moving average at 934. Notice the MACD on the 8, 13, and 5 has already crossed over. You know, you have the initial coin offering going on. You have PSAR setting up for a bull flip. I mean, it was a total disaster at the start of the coin offering, but now there's all this positive news coming out, and it sounds like everybody's starting to get bullish again on KODK. Okay, so if you look at the 15-minute chart, you can see what happened. It formed this tight channel, and you know, when a stock forms a tight channel, it signals that it's either going to break out or it's going to break down. One of the two. You know, it's either going to bust through resistance or it's going to drop through support. And so on the 14th, it hit this top, this high close, and then it just channeled sideways. And so it wasn't until this afternoon on this candle right here at 2:45 that signaled that, okay, KODK is back in play and it's ready to head higher. What happened was it finally broke above this blue line. That's the 300 simple moving average, and that was the top moving average on this 15-minute chart. So the break above signaled, okay, this is time to jump in KODK. The bulls are strong. It's ready to head higher. Notice it pushed super strong and held the EMA 4 support into the close. There was some profit taking. Notice where it hit 725. That 200-day simple moving average is 727. You know, the program, you know, program's set to take profits at that level. That's why we always say lock in gains at the 200-day simple moving average. You can see right here, people that did that, you know, they were able to get a good trade. It has to break that level and close above to head higher. So you have to keep in mind that the computer algorithms are all set up to either buy or sell at these key moving averages, and moving averages like the 200-day simple moving average are profit-taking zones. And then once that breaks above, that signals that it wants to run higher. It's just like this chart right here, where it has the 300 was resistance, and then once it finally broke above, it was ready to move. And so it's the same thing with on the daily chart with this 200-day simple moving average. You know, the candles are hitting this level. It has to close above, and that'll signal it wants to head higher. If it breaks intraday and pulls back and doesn't close above, that'll signal it's not quite ready to go. Okay, and look at FTFT. Yeah, this is a piece of junk, blockchain stock that just loves to you know, mess with shareholders, but it's heating up here, so we're gonna see if it can get something going. You know, it had that big head fake back here, which was you know, a super bull trap. You know, all these long wicks are, you know, these are bull traps here, and it sucked a lot of people in, and they just drove it down, and the market pullback helped to get that share price all the way down to that 100 and 200-day simple moving averages, which held. So if it can stay above 235, that would be good. If it drops below 235, all bets are off. The chart's completely broken. But it held support, and then today it closed back above EMA 13 after closing above EMAs 4 and 8 yesterday. That was the clue it was heating up. And then today it's hitting the middle Bollinger Band, so $2.99. So it has to break above $3. If it can get above $3, that would be a bullish signal. If it could close above that level, it hasn't been above the middle Bollinger Band since back here in January, but right before support broke and the long downtrend began. So if it can close above $3, that'd be a bullish change in trend. And then just above is the 50 and 300-day simple moving averages. Above 353 would be a signal that FTFT is finally ready to head higher. Okay, look at AMRH. Okay, so I put out alerts on this. I'm not sure if I got them out on StockTwits, but I did put them out in the chat. I put so many alerts out in the chat and so many charts. It really pays to just come and check it out. It's only 50 cents a day, 50 cents to 66 cents a day, and I feel like I put a lot of charts and information out where you're going to be able to use that information to make trades every day. And so yeah, you've got RSI here at 54, and then you've got Fasto at 95. And so I put out an alert yesterday saying that keep an eye on this freaking stock, because I don't even know what the heck these guys do. I just was the chart was heating up, and so it was like, you know, we play the charts, and so it had this super long downtrend. It closed yesterday above EMAs 4 and 8. It was breaking those levels, and so I put out alerts. Yeah, keep an eye on it. It had the PSAR bull flip. Notice the green dots flip below the candles. You know, the chart was really heating up. It had the MACD bull cross, and then the 1226 and 9 was pinched yesterday. Today there's a crossover, and then today there was big follow through. And so what we were looking for intraday when I was putting out alerts in the chat was we wanted to see a close above that middle Bollinger Band at 252, and then above that 50-day simple moving average at 283, and that happened today. It closed above both levels. This was a really bullish close. It just goes to show you that you know, nobody's talking talking about this on social media. It's not like it's not on anybody's radar. But if you just follow the charts, you don't have to have a crowd to make money. And the crowd will come if this runs. And so now if you got in low and then you're sitting pretty right now as that middle Bollinger Band holds, an uptrend could begin, and then people might jump in now that they're seeing that this is heating up if it gets a volume spike. And so if it runs up to that 100-day simple moving average, that's going to be a huge level to break at 437. That could be a likely profit taking zone. So keep an eye on it here. It's got some upside potential if that middle Bollinger Band holds. Okay, take a look at MBRX. Okay, so this is today's bull trap. Closed up 53%. It had the pre-market news and everybody's hot on it. Oh my God, this is freaking awesome. This is great. I can't believe it. We all have to buy the crap out of this thing. And then you can see here it opened at the bottom of the candle right here. And the bulls were able to drive it all the way up to 335. But the problem with playing the gap up open, if you play the gap up open, you have to have, I think that you should have a day trading account. You have to be able to day trade. You don't want to play a gap up open like this where the share price, this is just all my opinion, and you can say I'm wrong, and that's fine with that, but this is just what I think about a gap up open. I mean, the share price closed yesterday way down here at 182, and so if you can day trade and you can load pre-market and then let it run up to high of day and then jump out, that's great. I think that's a really good trade for people that are day trading. But if you're looking to jump in this for a swing trade and you have a count that you can't buy and sell, intraday, you have to hold overnight, then this isn't the kind of play you want to jump into because there's too much risk. With that long upper wick that shows profit taking, and then possibly these candles could work back into the bands. You have the upper Bollinger Band way down here at 235 and EMA4 way down here at 218. If you look at the prior history of this stock, luckily it didn't form the black candle. I thought a black candle was coming, so that was a bullish development. But notice the previous big gap ups with the big volume spikes. You always look at the volume spikes in the candle, and it's a pattern, and you can see each time it sells off. It runs up and then it sells off. Each time it's a trap. It was a trap again today in a big way. I mean, there was huge volume, but it did manage to close white. But if history repeats, it's going to have a red candle tomorrow, and it could be nasty. It could be a gap down open. Look how far down, look how this gap down so far from the previous. So that's the risk. And so if you play this type of setup where you're loading pre-market and there's a big gap open and a big space between high of day the day before and low of day today, and the candle's forming well above the upper Bollinger Band and it's floating, and you see that long upper wick form, just know, especially if a black candle forms, that it's a risk to hold, and you want to lock in gains before end of day. That's just a safe strategy, and I think these types of patterns are best to avoid if you're a swing trader. It's just a way to get stuck in a trade or have to sell for a loss. Okay, let's look at MBRX here on the 15-minute chart. You can see the bull trap. They ran it up and then they drove it down, and so it had the big gap up open, which was nice, and it had the big volume early in the day, and they were able to push it higher, and where it topped out at 325 and pulled back, and so this could still run higher tomorrow. It could do that. It's just it was risky to hold overnight with the candlestick pattern, and as you can see here, if it closed below that middle Bollinger Band there, which is the dotted purple line, and so that does signal that it was a risk to hold overnight. It has to get back above that level. It's right on the 50-yard line though. If it fails to get back above the 283 level, then it could drop down here and test that low of low close of day. And then if that breaks, that's when you could see the big drop down to the 50 simple moving average at 235. And then notice here you've got the descending triangle. This is like a you have a descending triangle pattern here. So if it breaks below support, that signals downside risk. If it busts through ascending resistance, or descending resistance, that signals it's ready to head higher. Okay, let's look at GBR. Just a couple more real quick here. This is a really thinly traded stock. Only traded 81,000 shares today. Just showing it to you because it looks like it's kind of heating up here. It has RSI at 53, Fasto at 70, Bull Cross on 80X. So everything's signaling it's heating up. Notice PSAR, the green dots are getting close to the candles. And so today there was a bullish close above the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 160. So as long as it stays above 160, it's in play. If it drops back below 160, it'll signal it's not ready to go. You might see it retrace back up to that upper Bollinger Band at 192. And then one more to leave you with is MOSY. It did close above 50 on RSI. It's at 59.89 there. You've got a breakout here on plus DI. Notice that minus DI crossed below plus DI, or you could say ADX crossed minus DI to the upside. So that's a bullish crossover. It's just a signal the bulls are heating up. And so what happened today, there was a PSAR bull flip, the dots flip below the candles, and then there was a close above the green line and above the dotted purple line, above the 50-day simple moving average in the middle Bollinger Band, which is also the 20-day simple moving average. And so if they hold, it signals the possible start of a new uptrend. So it's all about holding 126. Above 126 signals that this is in play. And then if it holds, you're looking for a possible run up to that 300-day simple moving average at 156. That's the big level to break. It needs to close above that level to head higher. Always be sure to put in your resistance zones, high close horizontal resistance. And so you can see here on the 17th, that's lining up with the 300-day simple moving average. So that's the big level to break, that 150 zone. Okay, so thank you very much for viewing this video. Please check us out in our chat. If you want to learn more about charts and technical analysis, ask questions, need any help, want to figure out, be in a room with the other people that are trading, come check it out. Okay, thanks for viewing the video. I'll post the link below the YouTube video. Thank you.